Kirby's Dream Land. You know, Kirby's Dream Land 2 is a really great game back in the day. I definitely remember this one. And here we have Epic Center. For all the fans of RPGs that Nintendo had, that just really wanted another Chrono Trigger or another Final Fantasy 3 or another Super Mario RPG. You know, they really wanted some new RPGs. And Nintendo responded by creating Epic Center here, so that they could primarily show their readers Japanese games that weren't going to come out here, like whatever this is. I think that's probably 7 Saga 2. Anyway, yeah. Oh look, Dragon Quest 6 didn't come out here. Here we have some more awards. We have Kefka winning the best villain, or worst villain as the case may be, which is quite the award and very well deserved. Here we have True Lies, starring Rob Schneider. There's Rob right there. Earthbound arrives! You know, I take back everything I just said about the RPG drought. It hadn't quite started yet at this point. Oh man, here we go. Badassery from Nintendo. They're all, look at the attitude! Look at all the attitude that we have! Yeah! Yeah, we're badass! We like to skateboard and stuff. Alright, here's the earliest Nintendo Power I have. It's from very, very long ago. Let's take a look. Oh, there's Samus right there in the front. May 1992. Dear God. Oh, here we go. Legend of Zelda, the comic. Look at that sword. This was a good comic right here. This is a really great comic. There's absolutely everything to like about this comic. Just makes you want to sit down and read it right now. You got Link fighting a bunch of soldiers, and got the little weathercock right there. What are those things called? There's a name for them. I can't remember what right now. But yeah, this is really great. And then we have Link flying into Hyrule Castle with a hot air balloon, and he has Ganon telling him what to do. So it's a classic higher power scenario. So Zelda gets warped away, and Link is in shock. And then we end right here. This is one intense shot right there. Really good stuff. I wish I had the issue after this one, but unfortunately I got this one in the store, and it was another probably a year and a half before I actually got a subscription, so I'm missing a whole year and a half. Anyway, great comic. Got some Batman. Batman was all over the place. I'm not sure what this is. It's like the predecessor of apps, I think. It has this little keyboard that plugs into the Game Boy. You can do all kinds of stuff with it. It's interesting. So that's where iPhone got the idea. Oh geez, we got some awards. Seems like every issue has yearly awards. And Metroid 2 wins Game of the Year for Game Boy. Not surprising, because they pretty much took everything. Yep, they took everything. Except, dun 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 dun, Mega Man. Dr. Wily's Revenge got one award. Here we have the Mario comics. Now these were really funny. I like the Mario comics. And here we have the Koopalings about to have their way with Princess Toadstool. It's really not a pretty sight. Luckily Mario is going to save her. Spoiler alert. It's already on. Not as good as it looks right here. See that? It looks real badass. It's not. Take it from me. It is not. Stuff like that. Oh look, some doodles that I did as a kid. There's this thing. He's like, I'm Terminator doll. He doesn't have any arms. He's just like a couple of legs with a head. He's clearly some kind of Terminator, though. He's stomping around. He's yelling, "I'm Terminator doll." I don't know why he would yell that he's Terminator doll. It doesn't really make sense. And here we have looks like a Terminator holding up some boxes, and there's an HK or something shooting him, and there's a flying HK and back there, and there's, I'm not sure what that is. Maybe a larger HK. I don't know. It's like a little war going on here. Alright, our next issue is another one from 1995. This one covers Mortal Kombat 3. Here we go. There is no knowledge that is not power. That's right. Damn straight. Here we go, Nintendo times. This is them pretty much looking back on 10 years of their own history. Kind of like I'm looking back at issues of Nintendo Power myself right now. Oh, here we go, the Squaresoft demo of Final Fantasy on the N64. Oh yeah, Final Fantasy, it's coming to the N64, bitches. Sony PlayStation's going down. It's going down. Oh, what? Oh, so that's how it went. Oh, well, that's not good at all. Well, for Nintendo anyway. Anyway, continuing on. Secret of Evermore. This is a good one. This article in particular, I really like the way it uses these pictures, these CGI models of the game. This one's kind of trapped in the binding, but there are CGI models from the game, and it shows them in pictures. Like right here, you can see really well. And these things are really ominous, and I like the way the article uses them. And you have regular artwork too, so that's interesting. Oh, there's the sacred dog in statue form and regular form. And here's the Nobilia Market. A lot of fun right there. And they pretty much guide you through the whole thing. This is when Nintendo Power was at its most useful, for sure. Yep, there's Rimsala right there, and Vigor. Unfortunately, the coverage ends with Vigor, but it looks like next month's continuing coverage will take you beyond Nobilia, so tune in for that. I mean, at the time. Yep, Secret of Evermore was a pretty great game, and this coverage was pretty great too. I really like what they did with it. Ooh, okay. Here we have some Chrono Trigger coverage. Action and reaction. That's right. That's how it goes. And there's the Nintendo Ultra 64. You see, the N64 went from being called, well, in the end it was called the Nintendo 64, or N64. Before that it was called the New 64, which meant Nintendo Ultra 64. Now, before that, it was called Project Reality. Now, Project Reality was like the wave of the future. Silicon graphics. No one knew anything about it. The system might as well have been a floating crystal for all anybody knew. But ultimately, this is what the system ended up looking like. Not a floating crystal after all. Anyway. That's another issue down. Oh man, look at this. It's Nintendo being all extreme with their advertising. For Virtual Boy. Oh jeez. Don't want to talk about that one. Alright, our next one is from mid-1994. And it contains the hottest tip of all. That's gotta get the adrenaline pumping right there. We open it up and there's a dude with a really messed up nose. Bet the ladies love him. Don't let your big brother blow this one. Okay, this is the greatest tip of all right here, is to subscribe to Nintendo Power. Okay. Now, got the letter section, I'm just going to pretend that isn't there. Super Street Fighter 2 with not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 new characters.